Well, I think the best way to illustrate it is your Windows story. It's just the same as me, it's just the same as the plumber, really, but it's one more way of looking at this. So, because the plumber takes on a lad. So you've got this story about a guy who's just installing Windows.
Yeah.
Well, a guy we met.
And it's
really,
a true story.
It's a true story.
Oh,
A guy,
I thought you'd made it up.
No, we met him.
So tell me how each bit he adds on a bit of this, a bit of this, a bit of this, and then what happens to him in the end.
So he's got a big company fitting windows, regional company. They buy the windows in and they sell the windows. They go along and have an installation team. And there was a team, and they had a factory that was assembling the windows. And he was bemoaning, he was struggling to make money out of it. And it was quite a sizable business, a lot of turnover, he was doing well out of it as an individual, but it was more of a pain than it was worth, in all honesty.
So he's making a small amount of money per head,
but
he's got loads of head count, so it's adding up to decent money.
Yeah.
But a lot of hours and a lot of stress. Doesn't feel right.
Can of worms.
And loads of risk involved.
Yeah. Worried about his incoming costs, his overhead costs, worried about his labour costs. All sorts of things were, hanging over him just in case it all goes wrong.
Yeah. And his HR problems.
Yeah, and he wasn't getting any younger. And all these things, and he was bemoaning about, there he was, and he'd come to visitors to talk to us, and he said, do you know, when me and my mate started this business, we did everything. We, bought the glaze. We went out. We did the sales. We measured up. We came back. We bought the glazing. We bought the extrusions. We welded it together. We then go down onto site. We fit it in. We do the installation, and then we do the invoices and everything. And he said, eventually, we were making great money out of that. Me and my mate.
Because you get good at all of those little steps.
Yeah.
And
he said we could do 2 jobs a week. And he said that was going some, but we could do 2 jobs a week, and we would be, clearing a good wedge each, and it was fantastic. We thought, get a salesman in to help boost that, get some people in the workshop, so we weren't doing that.
Get a machine.
And get a bookkeeper in to help with the admin, because that's shit, isn't it?
And you don't do it all at once, but these things gradually creep up on you, don't they?
And they said,
especially when it's lopsided, because of the salesperson, we now need a machine, and then, now we need a bookkeeper as well. And so,
But it's also because the wider world is kind of puts people in these boxes, so you can't go out and buy a sales and purchasing person or a sales. They tend to come in these little.
You have to get only a salesperson.
That's right. It's weird, isn't it? As if a human being could only do that. Yeah. Oh yes, you're definitely a salesperson. Myers-Briggs says, and I think. Well,
so you buy them all in.
Yeah.
and in theory, each one's going to be more efficient because the bookkeeper's just banging out and the machine's just banging out welding, and the salesperson's really good at selling.
Yeah.
So in theory, they're all going to be brilliant, and you're going to rake in the cash compared to when you were doing it all yourself.
Except that, as you said, they always seem to have a bottleneck. There's always an extra person you needed.
Yes. So might be production, might be purchasing, might be.
So he'd
or you don't fully utilise a person. So the accounts person would only be utilised 50% of the time.
Yes, in fact, if there's a bottleneck, everybody else is not fully utilised.
That's
by definition.
That's right.
So you're paying them, but you're not getting the full amount out of them.
So you're really motivated to go and get that extra person.
Yeah.
And you don't want to pay much.
No.
So you're really out there recruitment, find the right person.
And then something changes, so the bottleneck moves anyway.
Yeah, that's right. And then somebody leaves, or a new regulation comes out.
There's constant juggling of...
Or somebody's ill.
Yeah.
Pregnant.
Yeah.
That's normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's in a situation where he's built this company, and we said, so using my dirty metric, what's your sales per person per year? And I said, so go back to when you started with UniMate, and then go to some point in between, and then what's it now?
So say with the 2 guys, it was probably, say, 200 grand a year. Oh, each?
Oh,
yeah.
They were wrecking the money at that time.
So 200 grand per head.
Yeah.
And now it's a great big company. There's no way they're getting 200. It's probably 100 or 50 grand a head.
No, it was a bit more. It was more like 100. But their costs were pretty high because, glazing and stuff like that, it's not cheap to buy in. So their costs were pretty high, and but the labour bill was enormous. And he said, yeah, actually, when we started, we were probably at 200. Then 10 years ago, he said we were probably 150, and now we're at 100. And now we're struggling.
So that we could